Namaste, I'm Caren, and my hunch is because you're watching this video, you don't feel so well. I'm very sorry to hear that, and as of this filming, I don't feel so great either. I'm coming off of the tail end of a head cold. Now, I don't recommend practicing asana or pranayama when you are in the thick of sickness, but if you're in the front end of it or the tail end of it, to help promote the healing process, it's nice to move the energy within the body in gentle yoga asana. One thing that you won't find in this practice are inversions, anytime when the head is below the heart. And the reason for that is simple. When you're congested, you don't want to allow the congestion to stay in the head space. You want it to drain. Ensure you're feeling comfortable in your clothing and your surroundings. Grab a box of tissues if you need to, and let's begin. We'll start in tabletop. Come to your mat in all fours with your hands stacked below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. And then keep your head either at neutral or the chin slightly lifted the entire time so that the forehead is higher than the chin. We'll move very simply into cow and cat. So on an inhale, descend through the torso, let the rib cage dive toward the ground, and inhale, maybe lift the chin even more. And then exhale, keep the neck in neutral, but allow the spine to continue to arch toward the ceiling. Fan the shoulder blades wide across your back. And inhale, drop through the chest, looking forward. Exhale, the chin still stays in that neutral position and just the torso moves. Rib cage up toward the ceiling. Continue a few more rounds at your own pace. Just breathing into whatever capacity is available in your body at this time. Let's transition back to a seat. Send the feet to one side. And spread your legs in front of you. Now bring your left knee in and send your right leg out to the side into Pavrita Janu Shirshasana. We'll twist to face the left knee and drape the right hand onto the right leg. Then flare into the toes so it feels as if the foot has become active, as if it could plant onto the ground. Then take your left hand to your hip and just open your torso toward the left knee. Extend long through the sides of your rib cage. And then exhale and side bend. Lean a little bit into the right shoulder, the right side body. You can stop with your hand on top of the leg and loosen through the throat. Chin dips in, back of the head long and leaning toward the back of the room. If you want even more sensation and it feels okay in your headspace, you can move your right arm to the inside of the right leg. But pay attention to what happens in the head as you do so. And if that's just too much for the nasal passages and whatever congestion you have, stay a bit lifted. Now bring the breath deeper into the left rib cage. And as you breathe in and out, imagine the breath moving through the front of the ribs, the sides of the ribs, and the back of the ribs. Bathe that whole left side area with breath as you roll the left shoulder behind you. On your next inhale, press into your right hand and lift back up to the starting place. Let's switch it out. Hands behind you to transition. Lean back, send the left leg long and the right foot inward to cradle the left thigh. Then turn to face your right knee, left hand on top of the left leg. Flare through the toes and activate the ankle through the sole of the foot. Place your right hand to your hip and begin to twist gently open toward the right knee. Now, of course, you can stay right here, and as you lean over to the left, Explore the breath deeper into the right side body, front, side, and back of the rib cage. Readjust your chin so that it comes in line with the sternum, and lift and lengthen through the crown. Reach the head backwards slightly, roll the shoulders down. As you continue to breathe, explore how spacious you can get through the reach of your side bodies and the extension outward of the head from the neck. On your next inhale, plant into your left hand and inhale slowly back up to center. Lean back and bring the legs in toward one another and separate the feet hip distance apart. I'm going to turn so you can see where we're headed next, lifting through the chest. Fingers can face forward towards your toes if no wrist issues, but if you have any wrist issues today, turn your fingers facing out and press all of the fingertips into the ground. So go there now with your hands, micro bend your elbows behind you, and scoop the shoulders together and underneath the back body. Now lift up from the sternum and broaden the breath across the front of your chest. Press lightly into your hands to lengthen up through your crown and create more space across the front of your chest to breathe in and out. Just bathe the lower, middle, and upper lungs with as much breath as feels comfortable. Not triggering any coughing or any spasming of the abdomen. Find one more easy breath in here. And breathe out, soften the chest forward. Send both of the legs long. Bring your right knee in toward the chest. And set that foot over top of the left leg, to the outside of the leg. Then bring your hands to cup around the front knee and gently guide the knee in, flare through the left toes, and lift up through your crown. Now continue to hug around the knee with your left arm. You can let the hand just relax somewhere on the thigh as you bring your right fingertips around behind you. Now, the depth of your twist will depend on how much breath you have and what's going on in the chest and the head. So don't feel like you have to complete the full twist. Just breathe and see where the twist arrives. As the hand plants behind you, inhale and lift up through the center of your heart all the way to your crown. And then twist gently open from the upper chest. Allow the shoulder tips to roll down the back. And let the chin come in line with the sternum instead of reaching over the back shoulder, as that can trigger some coughing. Let the throat go easy as you breathe in and out. Now exhale and gently unwind your twist. Face forward over your legs. Set the right knee on top of the left. You're welcome to stay here in half cow face or go into full Gomukhasana, cow face with the legs. So that would look like leaning back and pulling your left leg to the side. And then what will happen is your knees are stacked and your feet will flare open. If that feels uncomfortable for your hips, go ahead and stay in that half variation. And then we're simply going to remain upright with the hands melting down onto the knees to start so the elbows can go loose. And lengthen out of your sides. Soften down from your shoulders and loosen your belly. If it feels comfortable and there's not a lot of congestion going on in your headspace, you might lean forward just a little bit, but keep the chin tucked slightly in. Elongate through the forehead until you find that opening in your outer glutes and hips. So move to the place that feels most supportive for where your body's at right now. Allow the breath to become more spacious and more effortless. That doesn't necessarily mean your breath becomes deeper. Allow it to be as it is and feel that there is enough space for you to breathe right now, easily and without effort. To come out of this position, let's take one more breath in. And then breathe out and lean back. Press into your hands and spread your legs to unwind long in front of you. And then you might like windshield wiping the legs or just pitter-pattering the feet back and forth, softening through the joints. Bring the legs back in toward the center, and let's start over with the other leg. So bring the left leg in and step it over top of the right. Then both of the hands to press gently against the knee, gather the thigh bone in toward the torso, flare through the right toes, inhale and lengthen through the crown, and then exhale, sweep your right elbow to hold onto the knee and the left fingertips behind you. A gentle twist, just enough for right now, for this moment that your body's able to handle. Return your chin over the center of the chest. And soften the tips of your shoulders back. Stay here for a few more breaths. And now exhale, return to face forward over your front knee, unwinding the twist. Set your knee to stack on the right one, and then choose to stay here or move into cow face with both legs. So you feel yourself arrive with both hip points on the ground, lift up through the crown and set your hands atop your front knee. And tune so completely into the breath, maybe closing the eyes, that you can begin to tell where the body wants to go. Would it like to remain upright? Or is there some space to lean forward, providing a bit more pressure into the hips for a sensation that's deeper in the outer left glute? Maybe you might feel this in the outer left thigh as well. As the unseen forces of the body heal, it's important not to exert too much pressure or effort to hinder their healing. So let this sensation feel just right, not forced or too relaxed so that there's no sensation at all. Invite in one more breath as a transition. Release your hands and plant them behind you. Lean back, lift the knees. Send both legs forward, gentle movement, legs back and forth. Now bend into the knees, plant the feet. And just for a few breaths, we'll open up through the front of the chest in reverse tabletop. Allow yourself to be gentle on the body instead of forceful through the legs. Walk your hands slightly back. Again, fingers forward or out toward the sides, elbows slightly bent. And then press into all of the fingertips and lift the toes so that you feel yourself press evenly into the big toe and pinky toe mounds and the heels. Then set the toes back down and inhale, glide the hips away from the ground, lift up just enough to where you can roll your shoulder heads back and down. Elevate through your heart, your lungs, and slide your tailbone toward your knees. So the hips never have to come very high, but elongate through your low back. Now take a couple breaths here. Imagining that you're breathing not only into the front of your body, but the back of your body as well. Keep the forehead lifted. Inhale. And exhale, and just one more round here. Exhale and lower your hips back down to the ground. Pull your knees in and rest for a moment, clasping your hands around your elbows and squeezing your chest toward your thighs toward your chest. Notice the aliveness that's starting to migrate into the heart and the lungs. And now exhale and release. Set the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide into Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Now just begin to walk your glutes backward and tilt your chest forward. Let the forehead again remain higher than the chin, but the chin can slightly tuck in. Hold either around the ankles or your toes. And instead of forcing your belly down and pulling with your arms, loosen through your arms and consciously loosen through your inner thighs. Loosen through your groins, soften through the knees and even the feet. Let the whole torso breathe as you relax completely into the legs. Soften through your throat and your jaw. And accept whatever the body reveals to you. Be patient as the body unwinds and heals. And once you feel a sense of release or unlocking in the groins, maybe you can lean a little bit more into that space. Now finally, take another inhale and use it to lift your heart. Slide your hands to the outsides of the legs and fold them in toward one another. Spread your feet backward so you can come onto your knees and sit in Thunderbolt, Vajrasana. If this is uncomfortable, please come to Sukhasana, an easy cross-legged seat, as we did in the beginning of practice. If you're here in Thunderbolt, press into your pinkies and your big toes so that the tops of your feet begin to spread into the mat. And there's a sense of lifting up here in toward the ankles. And then take your arms in front of you and let's dip the right elbow underneath the left into eagle arms, maybe holding on to the backs of the hands or the palms. Just soften the heads of the shoulders back and maybe lift up the elbows to your comfort. Feel a broadness enter the back of your body, soften through your neck. Now exhale and release the arms. Roll the shoulders down and back a few times. Let's move the hands in front of us one more time, and this time left elbow underneath the right. Again, finding that comfortable opening in the back body, just enough, not overdoing it. Feel the shoulders spread wide. And breathe into the back of your heart. Unleash the arms and roll out through the shoulders. We'll come forward once more into tabletop and walk the knees back behind you, and then one at a time, let's lengthen through the legs. So send the right leg back, toes to tuck, squeeze the muscles in toward the bones. Again, keep the forehead lifted and set the knee back down. Do the same thing to the left leg. And once you feel complete and the blood has rushed back into the knees, let's send the feet to one side and have a seat. An easy cross-legged seat. If you'd like to sit up on something, you can grab that now so that it feels more comfortable for your hips. And we'll take the hands to the belly first, one on top of the next. Just let the elbows soften and close your eyes. Breathe into the palms. An easy breath. And imagine through the touch of your hands, a healing energy moving into the abdomen. Offer patience and love to your body. Be here for it as you would a friend. Move the hands now to the heart. Allow that tender touch to bring a soft energy of healing light into the body at this place. And then move the hands to the throat. You can place one hand on the front of the throat and the other hand behind you to the neck, the back of the throat. And just let your elbows be heavy and loose. And let your healing touch illuminate your throat. And now release the hands and bring them together to touch in Anjali Mudra, placing the thumbs at the third eye. Feel the effects of the asana in your body. You have become your own caregiver. Patience for the healing. Accepting what is. And releasing expectation. Release your thumbs down to your heart. I honor your light. Namaste. May your path and my path to healing be full of acceptance, patience, and love. Even though I'm not feeling well, I'm still going to say it. If you enjoyed this practice, give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more yoga and meditation videos. Thank you so much for your presence, and I'll see you next time.